Hi there guys. So what we're going to tie is the Bann Valley Small Dry Fly Pack fly. So in this pack we have these standard light wire down eye hooks, and we have some tailing material, we have some hackles, and a variety of alpaca fur, which is quite nice. Certainly I think it will help people with dubbing. So I am going to use a black tying thread here for this. This one I'm using is a 6/0, but you could use an 8/0, especially when you're tying smaller flies. The only thing is it's going to be more prone to breaking on you. So anyway, we're going to start our thread. I'm not starting it right up at the head. That's to reduce bulk when we get there. And I'm going to create this bed of thread to tie, snap off our thread. Okay. Again, I haven't gone the full way back because I'm going to tie back once I've tied the tail in. That just again reduces a little bit of bulk, makes the thing a little bit tighter. So in our pack we have these larger sort of saddly type feathers. So we have grizzle type ones here, and we have sort of honey badger type ones here. Now, whenever we do this with them, you can see why they're suitable for tailing. So I'm going to take some of the honey badger type one here for now, and I'm just going to pull some of that away from the stem. Then this little bunch here, I'm just going to transfer back and forward between my hands until I get a small neat bunch, catch it in there, and then I'm just going to hold it, stroke it, hold it all up on top, and then take it back onto our bare shank. So we're creating a tail here that is probably a shank length. And then I'm just going to go forward and tie these tag end bits of it in. So in our pack we have 3 different colors of alpaca. So we can use them as they are, we can mix them together. But what I'm going to do is I like the color of this one here, so I'm going to use it for demonstration purposes here today. So I'm going to take some of that, and as we can see it's quite long fibered wool, and that will really aid in making a very neat body for you. So we'll take some of that, and what's probably advisable for you to do is to wax your thread at this stage. I'm going to take that back nearly as far as the tail, and the reason for that is once I start to roll this on, I will go back onto it. So I'm just going to add that dubbing. As I said, very fine sparse bit of dubbing onto it. Once it catches the thread, I'm sort of stretching it back here along its length. I can use the other hand here to just kind of form it into place, and then I start to spin. So I'm rolling it in the same direction between my finger and thumb, and that has started to tighten it up here. So what we'll do is, once I have that, it's not quite at the bottom of my thread, so what I'll do then is a couple of wraps. That's why I left the room, will take me back to where my tail was tied in. Once I've caught a few fibers of my thread, I can then start to tighten this dubbing rope up even more. I said I had very little on, but you can see I now have a dubbing rope that's about 2.5 inches long, which should be plenty to get me to the front. In fact, it's more than I need. So this spare then, what I'll do is I'll just pinch it off my tying thread. If you want to create a fatter bodied fly, you can do that. So the fly in its simplest form would be to just wrap a hackle straight on now, which is what we're going to do. The other option would be is that you use hackle tips or something like that as wings. Now you have a variety of different options. I suppose as we've tied the fillet now, we could put wings on that are pointing backwards. If we want wings that are upright or forward, we would have to tie them on before we put the body on, okay? These hackles that came with it here, so we have it's like a beige sort of cree, almost like a ginger cree. We can use those. We can also use the genetic hackles that we got in the pack here. These are sort of also in various shades of ginger. So when you're choosing a hackle, what I would do with it is this. I would take my hackle, I'd put it onto the hook like this and sort of bend it around it, and then we can see, is it appropriate for size. So these genetic type ones here, if we want, we can put that on and see, is that appropriate for size. If we're going to do that one, we have to make it much denser, I think. These hackles, what we could also do with them is actually to palmer them along the body. So we could have started at the back, gone up along the body, and then created another bigger hackle at the front. So I am going to use one of these because I like it for size. I've stripped a little bit off the base of it, and I'm going to just tie that in back as far as where the body was. Go forwards, and then we need to wind that on. So if we take hackle pliers then and catch the stalk, wrap that on, touching turns. Get to the front for the first front hackle. What I'm doing is I'm just going to pull all these fibres back to make sure that none of them are sticking forward when I go for my final wrap or two, and that should make the thing easier. My hackle has fallen out of the pliers, but because I'm holding on to it, it will stay on. So I'm now happy with that. I'm going to tie over it. Once I'm happy that it's tied off, I can then take the hackle pliers off. I can fold that back for added security. I'm going to snap it off now. You can cut it off with scissors if that suits you better. And then finish the head. Cut my thread. Now to take our dubbing needle, I'm going to varnish the head. So I'm going to take dubbing needle, add a little bit of clear, thin clear varnish, hold the hackle back and just get in there. Varnish the head. So that is a really simple dry fillet, a simple hackled dry fillet. And honestly, for years when I was younger, that's all I fished, and I caught hundreds of fish on fillets like that there. And as we have the different colours here, we can vary the colour of the fillet we tie from something that's very, very light indeed to something that's more darker brown shade. So we can cover anything from little uprights and olives, those sort of kind of things, through to sedges with it. So fairly basic dry fillet, but something that's definitely effective. Hopefully you liked the video. If you did, at this stage hopefully you have the pack, but if not, contact bannvalley.com, contact Sebastian, and he can set you up with the pack, and check out other packs and the other instructional videos that are on the channel. Thanks for watching.